one of these super team dream teams in everybody's playbook. Let's take it to the level that we know we can.
Luckily for them, if they would not be able to close it out now, there's still going to be another match played tonight after the G2 BDS 1. After that is going to be the losers match, and the winner of that one will continue to tomorrow, still having an opportunity to land themselves into that grand final. So even if they lose now, even if they lose this map, the tournament is not over yet. It's an important one to note.
That's it. Double elim. It's not only do we get the lovely, beautiful best of threes, we also get double elim as well. We get the full run, the full stretch. It's one of those games where, sure, they could have a very long potential play date, but they have that second life, second chance to whatever team drops down potentially after the end of this first game. They've still got a huge amount left in front of them to do, but we've only had one map hap, and I already feel like this major has just exploded onto the scene.
It has exploded, and well, many would have expected Rogue to go 2-0 or 2-1. I myself have written them down as 2-0. I can toss that one out of the window now. But hey, Virtus.pro, they definitely showed up, and this is what I said before. It's been 4 weeks since we had the last official matchup, and that means there's not much to go, and there's not much to directly counter-strat until, well, the end of today. And that means that right now, we will see VP with a 1-map lead going up to Clubhouse, and it seemed like Rogue were just clueless. They didn't know how to, well, take VP on, as they were just so dominant through and through. Are they going to be able to carry that across? We will see right now.
I guess there's always the conversations and arguments about, okay, well, you're a team that's sitting on halfway, you're in this, position where how much of the negative score and how much of being on a 5-1 is going to impact you? Are you going to change up where you want to lead in terms of your attack and defense on the next map? They opted to start on attack here. This is VP's map. So Rogue have said, we want to take the attack. We want to bring themselves into this firefight, and we want to be the kind of start of this. And it takes a lot of confidence to come off the back of not a great attacking first map to say, we want to go against what is quite a strong defender map, and we want to attack first. We want to reassert our attack.
5 seconds left.
Well, they get the opportunity to do that now, as VP sets up their defense. I'm not too sure, though. Clubhouse is, well, a map where a 4-2 split is something you're looking for. If you're looking at the operators that have been banned and Maverick is gone, that means they will have to rely on that Thatcher a lot. An operator that hasn't seen much play lately, considering the high ban rate. VP might be, directly countering off Rogue right there. Skrzeka will be taking a lot of initial damage. Almost loses his life as well, as Rask will be falling back to the side. Together with his teammate Shockwave. And with that, they'll create some fear in the hearts and minds of Rogue for the remainder of the round.
Rask was one of those players who, obviously, the team swanned it, but they didn't have the biggest showing in the previous map. They were quite often the first dead, and, it's one of those things where you are this roaming entry player. You are the one that is, you have huge numbers behind you. They couldn't quite find their way in. In the same breath, though, did they really have to, with how much Amizian was popping up and how much he was able to just take apart Rogue. Leon is applying some intense pressure down the garage stairs now across the face of Blue to see if they can root out Rask, who's dug in behind the big unit in the center. There is hatch pressure obviously coming through, and Kajek is opening up all the angles he can towards the staircase. This is Rogue not wasting too much time. They're making sure that they have the beat, the read, and the idea of where Virtus.pro want to play this. And you can see Virtus is kind of keeping themselves quite mobile down on the site. There's a lot of movement, a lot of potential changes in who they want to try and find the firefight with. Now it's just down to the minute 20 and the push.
Indeed, 1 minute 20 and a push is all they need, as they're trying to find themselves an entry and to find themselves the entrance to the site. Of course, they have many openings, basically, literally, in hatches and walls that could open up, but it's going to be Corey to get the first one. It's W to G to be removed. It's the smoke gone, and that will be of high impact. That means 30 seconds of potential plan denial will be gone, especially picks up Pasha now as well. That means that the evil eyes will no longer be of use, or at least it will be used for information gathering, but not for actual plan denial to come through. And as Shockwave will finally respond, that is going to be one of the members of Rogue to be gone, a second one to be taken down as well. Rask going on a ramp as he picks up aces. and Leon Geddes. Be Corey to respond, though. It doesn't stop quite yet. There's 30 seconds still on the clock, and now blue control seems to be the focus that Rogue wants to go for. As the mission gets tagged from the kitchen hatch, we'll be falling back in set spot, where we will find a fight.
Well, now's the pressure. Now's the moment to see if you can capitalize upon this, and Karjak is actually going to be the first down. A mission with another double kill. There is the round for Virtus.pro. Two players I talked about, one having a standout first game and one not quite needing to. Both of them show up and define this first round and lock it down in their favor. Virtus, wow, you are on a tear.
And this is that fire we spoke about when we basically referred it to Rogue, but VP able to pick it up. Rogue yet again with the 2 entry frags, but weren't able to close it out. Rask just slapping back, getting those 2 kills in, and all his teammates also joining. VP able to get the first round in, even though Rogue seemed to be looking quite strong for that one. And we're going to the gym and bedroom site instead of CCTV cache. It means VP will be using that one as a tertiary. The latter, that is. And Rogue, are they prepared for an attack like this?
It's one of the things I said before in the first map about VP, and I'm going to kind of double it down here, is they seem to like picking slightly off rhythm sites. They like to play ones that aren't so expected in the terms of placement of where they are in the 3. Yeah, okay, this is a map where you don't play the 4th unless you're just really either trying the boldest thing we have ever seen, if you're playing a bar open hold, or you're just messing around. So don't expect to see that. So yeah, it's not as obvious as it would be on a map like Cafe, where you've got 4 more malleable sites, or a map like Oregon, where you have more possibilities in terms of the 4 sites. But at the same time, just choosing a slightly different rhythm, trying to throw what is usually a set pace map through and off what Rogue expect. It's something that Virtus.pro have been doing pretty consistently so far.
Attackers drop the diffuser. Attackers
Have been doing it quite consistently. Looking to continue, as Kajeka will be opening up the logistics hatch, putting in a drone as well straight away, most likely. Oh no, he's actually going to be using it on the edge to try and drone out the mirror player here of Shockwave. But he seems to stay put, not actually moving, but they actually are aware of the fact that Rask is playing inside a strip. Will he be hunted down, or is he going to be able to rotate out just in time before being, well, pincered? Doesn't seem like anybody's actually responding on him yet. That might come back to haunt Rogue later on.
That's it. Obviously, you look at a player like that and you look at what this map can kind of offer a player like that. If it's unexpected, if these 50-50 plays of jump out and risk are rewarded, well, it is bits here in this region. And Rask, well, he's looking for it. He's going out. He has some idea, some intel, and a rough concept of how people like to play this. He's not going to push it just yet. But with the door open, he could be a little bit more stealthy about the approach next time round. There is some intense pressure coming in against the windows of Wumai as he locks down and catches one on the disc. But with Rask still creeping and lurking, looking to get potential pressure onto Jacuzzi, Rips is waiting with a bit of concern, but this could go very badly. Doesn't see them. There is the pickup. There's the trade. Pushed your luck a little bit too far, and unfortunately, that 50-50 doesn't quite go your way with or without intel.
He indeed stayed a bit too long there, but look at how many of the players of Rogue right here are on highway. Just all of them just staying put, ready and waiting for a jump in. And Shockwave tries to put himself into a good position right here, spots out one head, he's not going to be able to land. It actually does land a shot. It's going to be VP with 1 respawn, but he already lost 2 of their players, and that means that they need to be careful. Still, of course, have these mirror windows available to them as Shockwave now has to deal with both these angles. WTG came to help, and, well, help he did. Managed to pick up one of these kills as Corey right now sneaking through construction. Spots out the player of WTG right there, but he's not going to be able to land the kill until much later. And it's all up to Pasha now in a 1-on-2 situation. The fuser was down, but will be recovered. Corey has that one in hand. They're unaware of his position right now. Where is Pasha at as he is on the pad? Didn't expect that elevated level, and Aces will be able to pick up that kill. Rogue will be winning round number 2, and that is quicker than in the last map. and will put them up to a good start of this match.
Yeah, very well played there from Rogue. They seemed much more conceptually aware of what things were being put down in front of them. Obviously, Rask played a very late game, pushed his luck a little bit too far, and suffered the consequence. And from then, it gave the players of Rogue the confidence to just move forward, capitalize upon the man advantage, which before they weren't as quick to do on Cafe. They would obviously get 1 or 2 kills in these moments, and then they would still keep their pace, still keep a steady idea, and try and make sure that the plan kept on going. Here we saw them be much quicker to the close down, I would say. They seem to be more adept at going, this has happened, okay, now, go. We saw all the bodies on highway. From that moment on, they started to apply their pressure across construction. They started to try and close down logistics as well. Don't worry, casters, we all predicted Road to win 2. Yeah, the only irritating thing, obviously we're still in Map 2, very early doors. If it did go Virtus.pro's way, the only irritating thing about our predictions is that Hap would still be winning, technically. Because everybody would just shift down slightly.
10 seconds.
Everybody would just be losing.
Who did Bad predict?
5 seconds.
I don't think
do we know?
he has been asked for...
I guess it would be giving the game away, because if they put that on Twitter, we'd know.
Offender has been discovered.
Yeah, like, it would be leaking the script. It's unfair of Dev to read the script as a bedtime story to Baird.
Pasha tried to get something quick and early there against Rips, but again, we've already seen this the last round from Rogue. They were well aware of conceptually the runouts, what Virtus.pro like to do here. They know how to control the outside space, which, to be honest, early on in Cafe, they didn't seem to quite have the same grasp. Whether it was just because they were still waking up and they didn't expect the sheer pace that Virtus.pro brought. Either way, I say they had more control, but perfect timing and audio gave Rask that game and gave them Habana, one of the 2 hard destructions off the board, and a very, very big pick.
Why does he jump out like that? How dare he? Such audacity.
It's bold plays. Intel was sound, took care of that. And you look at how much that now can potentially take out of the push. Obviously, you have Thermite still, and you're assuming he's going to be getting open CC wall. But a lot of teams, when they're down to just 1 hard destruction, will actually try and change shape. They'll go towards the pressure here in construction, get this open, and try and dig the diffuser down on this side instead. Maybe that is where Habana was heading before, but either way, look who's showing up to the party. Thermite is going to try and crack this wall open instead. Concerned about this hatch below. An absolute nightmare for C4 players, as we've seen them play before, but, well, they're not going to actually roll that dice. VP are playing a bit further away as more and more utility gets cracked open inside the site. WTG is trying to hold it from the top of red and get a bit of range across, but Aces takes care of Shockwave from a deep angle.
All the way from the winner will be able to take him down, and that means that right now the exothermic will go off as well. A little bit of an opening will be created, and Pasha will be the one to try and stop that from being utilized. Has that shield, has the bomb chassis, but does not have his head anymore as Liam just picks it clean off. Rogue setting themselves up for a very good 2nd round in a row right here, as Rips right now will be opening up onto Plateau as well, and that means Rask will have to fall back onto the eastern stairs. No more B-side pressure on the likes of VP. They're all either on those staircases or below. Try and make stuff happen, and look at that, they still have that C4 available, and as Rask picks up Gersheka, that might actually be a very important kill to come through. Smoke canisters will be deployed as WTG hopes to go close. He needs to take down Rips. If he does so successfully, this could be the round for Virtus.pro to come in. As long as that C4 is still from below, as a mission slowly creeps himself back on top, it has got to be a smoke canister to go out. The pre-fires are there as well, as a mission picks up 1. Still not enough though. Still has a C4 in hand. The plant will go down. Just detonated it right there. It's on the wrong spawn. That means 45 seconds will be on the clock right now. 45 seconds for a mission to go in a 1v2 post-plant situation to try and get that clutch. Whilst he still has, well, needs to have 7 seconds left for defuse.
With a body either side, it's a sheer no man's land. Finds the first with an amazing swing there onto the head of ACs, but with only 20 seconds left, you've still got to find the second. Want to take them by surprise, don't quite know where the angle is, so you're going to bait a bit of movement, bait a bit of audio. You know they're playing on this highway window. You know you need to get this kill before you can do anything. But Rips knows exactly where you're coming from. Rogue, for the first time today, find themselves a step ahead. And it was very much as close as you can make it in a 1 versus 1 post-plant showdown.
Last time around as well, it was a 1-on-2 post plant. And Mission was the one who clutched it out. So if there was a man on the board that could do it, it would have been him. And he started off well. Getting that little pixel on the head, repelled on the edge of Plateau. Starting it off, just not able to find the second one as it was tucked too deeply inside that corner. And there's 2-1 the score right now. Rogue find himself in the lead. Are they going to be able to continue from there on? Are they going to be able to build onto their lead? Or is VP going to be striking back and putting them to sleep now?
Back to the basement. Oh no. That is never how you want to start a round. That's not great. You think about what they've just lost. Okay, they've lost a player. Sure, whatever. They haven't just lost a player. They've lost a Mission, who is on such a burn today. Oh, no, wait. They've also lost a Mission playing Goyo, an operator they love and build a lot of their strategies around. You couldn't ask for a better accidental team kill if you are the players of Rogue. This is a round where you think, okay, you couldn't go into this more confident. He's only been able to put one of his shields down. You know how they like to play this. You know who was playing that operator. You know what you have to do now, WTG, to make up for what happened.
Maybe it was a standard clutch or kick situation, right? Like, clutch or kick, he didn't get the clutch. Well, you can't really kick in custom games, so he got team killed. Just, you're on the bench for one of these rounds. Because I doubt that's the case. It's a very unfortunate start. I
like the amount of benefit of the doubt you gave them there.
You know,
it wasn't an
trying to see the
accident.
positive.
It was a calculated murder of your top fragger.
It was a calculated murder. You know, so that sometimes you need to give them a push into the right direction to actually win those clutches. I don't think that an M59 to the face helps, but I mean, maybe they're onto something we don't know. Could be. Anyway, Corey will be going down. Pasha will be stepping it up, getting that first kill, and that brings it back into a 4-4. And with that, I'll see one of your heart breaches gone. And Fluke, that is going to be meaning that it's going to be harder to open up these hatches and the walls if they would like to have that.
So much harder. They hadn't even begun to do the delicate dance of kitchen utility burn as well, just waiting with a big gun and an angle. And that seems to be a Pasha trick so far. And yet again, 2 rounds in a row, Corey on the Habana has been off the board first. Losing one of your 2 hard destruction on this map, it so heavily can limit what you're trying to bring. Well, it not even can, it does heavily limit. You've bought 2 hard destruction for a reason. It is Clubhouse. It is such a fortress, such a solid layout. It really can shift the shape of what you need to do. And a lot of teams don't really have that beast strategy. Luckily for Rogue, they're a team that we've commented on before, can be really, really well put together in that middle round adaptation and middle round changes. Unfortunately, Leon suffers at the end of the Pasha firefight there. It was a jiggle nightmare. And, well, for him, it ends pretty abruptly.
Look at how many drones are left on the likes of Rogue. Only 1 or 2 out of pocket right now. That's what they have to deal it with. That's what they have to get the 4 players their positions with, and enough to go for an execute later on. Rogue going for a bit of a rotate, it seems like, towards the blue side of things. And rotating all the way to the garage into the new stock. Most likely putting some pressure soon onto Rask, who's playing right behind the big unit right here. As Rips is just waiting, but the smoke canisters will be popping in.
Well, there's another one falling, and look at this Virtus.pro. We talked about how they're in a man-down situation and how much that might cost them, and they seem to be more than aware, as all of them have stepped up the same manner they did previously. Rask with 1 more, and there is another. Would have been a flawless for Virtus.pro, if not for the opener. WTG. Not a nice shot, not perfect, but the round itself almost.
Well, VP is going to be able to pick it up, Fluke, and, well, Rogue is already on those 2 rounds you would like to have. Now, would you think they're going to be trying to push to 3 or 4? Do you think that that's what's going to be feasible? Is that what they're going to be able to get? Or is VP going to be stepping up from here and actually taking the last 2 rounds as well?
I mean, I can see Rogue putting more pressure into this. I think that VP have this amazing habit of when they're pushed back against the wall, they seem to find more ground, or they seem to find their claws and their teeth, and oh wait, a couple of great guns and bits of utility that they can use to gun through. Some of these 1 versus 1s where you would expect them to usually go the way of Rogue haven't been today. It seems like the accuracy, the pinpoint playing of Amizian, of obviously Pasha, who just got the double in the previous round, and we've seen bits from the Alder all day today as well, and Rask especially on this map. I talked about how he didn't have the biggest impact before. Look at him, 5-2, so instantly, so early. The pick against Corey, obviously going for this range and this movement. When the pressure is on, VP seem to play their most confident.
Attackers must locate and defuse the bomb.
I want to have a little bit of pressure. It's often a pressure cooker that gets the best IDs out. Might be what VP needs as well. A bit of pressure to get their best play out, to get in that flow, get in the zone. Themselves up to the best of their capabilities. As Rogue seeming to go for a default take yet again. Bennett wires are being deployed. Now, I'm looking at it. There is a Thatcher. There is the Sophia. Do you guess they're going to be wasting or using? It's not really wasting in that case. EMPs and stun grenades to get that wall open, or do you think they're going for the wall construction first, and after that they're going to plateau approach again?
Well, I guess it's one of the things about obviously the amount of lessons they've learned from each other. It seems like they want to apply the pressure onto construction side instead. The drone of Aces is going to pick up the movement there of Rask. They have more of an idea of where he's playing, I say, as they physically ping the man behind the bar. And Leon is going to be the one that tries to capitalize upon it. You can see the slight rotation of utility there. They seem to be aware that there's pressure coming from this bar. They are making sure their pinch here goes pitch perfect. And more drones are going to be the intel they need. They want to control more of the play space. They want to control Rask. Unfortunately, he's apparently a very slippery man to try and get a hold of. Rotates via the toilets and just missed the trace rounds there coming out the back of Leon.
Moving himself all the way over to the strip launch. Pretty interesting to see if he's actually going to be chased down. It doesn't seem to be the case right now, as Liam gets rotated himself all the way above. Claymore might be put down to make sure he's not going to be putting down any more pressure, as WTG in the meantime responded to go towards stock to try and put up some damage himself as well. But it's going to be Aces to start things off. Shockwave will go down. Rask, however, will be going for an adventurous jump out here, and he will be able to get the kill. Aces will be responded to. That Shitachi gone, and I really hope he uses EMPs right now, because otherwise it's going to be really hard for you to actually open up onto Plateau. And as I say that, the breach already exploded. The exothermic did its job, and they have the opening they need to, well, basically cross out VP and get the crossfires they need.
Rask slipping through and finding yet another run-out kill. It's just one of those moments where it is pure risk and reward. We saw it before and it failed. We see it here again, and it takes care of the Thatcher in such a utility-heavy push and burn. You can still see the wall still standing. Well, apart from that one, as Corey guns through it and takes care of Pasha. A big opening and a big angle and a big crossfire from WTG to get a little bit more revenge from the top of Red Stairs. There is a bit of movement and aggression. There is another one that falls all down to Rips with only 10 seconds left on the board. No hope and no way out of a crossfire. That's well put together.
Very well put together indeed. As they try to push themselves through, but manage to find a new angle every single time they move 2 meters, they get a kill, they move 2 meters, all right, good. Move 2 further, get shot on the head. Someone else responds to that, moves up to the spot where his teammate was before that, moves a little bit ahead again and is instantly getting taken down. So it's like these many layers of the defense they're trying to fight themselves through. And VP able to set them up perfectly whilst Rogue tried to get themselves out. And yet again, as you mentioned before, Rask able to slip through and basically not being chased costed them Aces, who got downed because of that. Lost your EMPs, potentially having the opportunity to take down, well, let's say other utility on the site itself, if it was used earlier. And you always wonder, what if Rask was picked up? Would it have been round changing? I think it would be in this case.
You know, I think that's the thing. Obviously, they had dedicated a lot of focus and attention to him, and they got a bit of an idea of where he was. Sure, they had the pressure from Bar, he rotated around to the central staircase, and then from then on he dropped the drone and they lost him, I say. Leon put a couple of bullets into his back. They didn't capitalize upon it. They peppered some bullets through onto Strip, and Rask, full credit to him, didn't just kind of go, okay, well, I've got to take this firefight with Leon first. I've got to take this firefight with the pressure coming from Bathroom. No, actually, I'm going to go and keep moving. I'm going to keep aggressing. They're not going to expect me to push out this door. They're not going to expect this run out because, well, who would do that when I'm assuming that they're closing down on me with at least one gun and one drone? That's 2 active operators keeping the eyes on me right now. Why don't I go kill a third?
Mind the Valkyrie has been banned, an operator often used to support these runouts that you've just seen from Rask. Will not be happening now as, of course, not on the board. We'll have to rely on information, sound calls, and potentially default chems if they're still up. As Virtus.pro quickly falling back from cash, going back into construction and the gym bedroom for their last sight, Fluke. And Rogue, they attacked this before, they actually managed to win it before. What do they need to do to secure yet another round right here?
Well, they currently seem a bit concerned about what's going on elsewhere. Rask is obviously still on the hunt, still on the roam, and still looking for trouble. And, well, the Claymores and the slight ideas of how they can stop the pace there isn't going to be in the right place, as Rask has continually changed and altered where they're going to be dropping in and out of. Down to a bit of a dug-in hold now with Jacuzzi wall, I'm assuming, opened at this point. They've put the structure back up inside the bathroom. Yes, a big opening, a big angle, a big bit of reinforcement and hard work going up inside showers. And, well, a bit more left for the guns of Rogue to do. Rask still beneath in kitchen, still waiting desperately to try and apply this pressure from a new point of potential, well, sacrifice to the gods of VP and the blood toll that it's taking from Rogue.
There's so many things he can do from the downstairs as well. Shockwave will be able to pick up 1 kill. Instantly, however, responded on by Leon. As Rask finds himself into the bedroom stairs right here, he still has the opportunity to rotate all the way around and going up through garage or any of these other 2 staircases on the map. Rogue trying in these last dying seconds to get themselves in with a round as that smoke canister gets bumped off a little bit of the body of Kajeka. Because of that, will not be able to be taking any damage right here. Potential double kill could have landed right here from Leon Gids. Instead, he's just going to be able to find 1. They're unaware of the fact that he got down, though the smoke canister coming in just in time to actually secure the kill. And leaves us in a 2-on-3 situation. It's up to Rips, it's up to Kajeka to try and get this round in. It's up to them to make sure we're going through a 3-3 even split, but the diffuser will be dropped. Rask moving up from these stairs, coming in absolutely huge right here. And it's all up to Kajeka now. A bit of damage being done by the Jaeger as he moves into the secret stash. 20 seconds, the time is ticking, but he has still plenty of time to find these 3 players. As 2 of them are on site. It's going to be Rask that goes aggressive. It's going to be Rask that gets the kill. And it's going to be Virtus.pro with the 4-2 split to lead the charge.
4-2 on your defensive half is par for the course here on Clubhouse. It's generally what's seen on Cafe 2, so again, it's still far from over for Rogue. And it's come down to close firefights in a lot of occasions, but you know, it's these 1 versus 1s that still just seem to not be going in their favor. Virtus.pro just seemed 1 bullet ahead of what Rogue are bringing. You obviously saw Leon there, almost in a position to get the double, caught out by the smoke canister. We saw it down with Leon again on the push on the long corridor, on the basement hold as well. And it's those situations where if that had just slightly gone their favor, if that had just slightly gone their way, if the stray bullet had caught Rask a little bit tighter on the round before, these rounds could be Rogue rounds. It ends up in a 2 versus 1 or 2 versus 0, 3 versus 0, whatever. But it starts, the fuse is lit from these initial confrontations that unfortunately seem to consistently be going against Rogue.
Can we just quickly highlight Kajeka, who has been a consistent number 2 for the likes of Rogue. Currently struggling to find himself a single kill onto that Maestro. If I remember correctly, he was normally very impactful. Also has a bunch of clutches on his name, so him not really being able to find his mark yet, just like Leon Gids wasn't able to find it in the first map, definitely seems to be halting Rogue to what they could be.
That's it. And obviously you look at the game that Rask is having, 10-2. As I said before, he couldn't quite find where he needed to be, but on his Jaeger roam, found everything possible. Leon is going to try and step into that slot and see if he can do as much damage as was done to them, and obviously being able to pick apart hard destruction twice at least, if not the third time on that final round, they got closer to sight to be able to begin to actually do what they needed to do. Well, that's the big problem in the big trade. Steady drone work coming out from Virtus.pro. They want to make sure that they keep a control and an idea of where Rogue are, but with Leon on the deep roam beneath, that is the Rask plays, and that is what Jaeger can do here. We've seen a demonstration. Leon's got to try and step up and show us a masterclass if Rogue are going to want to pull this game back.
And VP, all they need right here are 3 consecutive rounds, or just 3 rounds in total over the next 6 to secure themselves that, well, let's say upper bracket final spot. Something that will be defiling a lot of the odds, as many would have voted Rogue, including us. Everybody basically said 2-0 or 2-1 for Rogue. And VP so far really showing that these 4 weeks have been used well. Have been used more than well, as they managed to get that first map without hesitation, and potentially are on the way for a second one.
Rask is dug in underneath the body above. They're burning all of the ADS that they can, but Leon and Rips find one apiece, dodges and dances around the rain of grenades, and Leon is here to try and offer some support, but there is the cover from WTG. Second frag grenade goes up, and Rips goes down, actually caught on the escape there by Amizian. A great pinch and a great pincer and a great way to pull yourself back into a 3 versus 3. However, 2 of you have taken a huge amount of damage. You've lost your Habani. You hope she's done what she needs to, and you've almost lost, well, you do lose your Thermite too. Everything you've got is all you're going to have when you go for the push. Sludge no longer has frag grenades. It's just a matter of trying to rely on the guns and the trades that so far have been pretty pleasant for you.
Axis picks up yet another kill from the same angle right here as WTG finds himself from below. It's going to be 30 seconds left. Diffuser is dropped onto the mezzanines, and so will he. Corey from above will be finishing him off with the SMG, and Rogue will be picking up their first defensive round. We'll close the gap just a little bit up to 4-3. Only one away from bringing things back to even numbers. And to make it a sprint to the end, whoever is going to be able to get that win in first.
Last map, obviously, we didn't really get a huge taste and test of how Virtus.pro's attack had been put together. And in the same way, how Rogue's defense had been put together. Obviously, it was over quite quickly. I guess for me, what I'm more curious about is Virtus.pro, because they lead their defenses with obviously a huge amount of aggression, as we've said. They seem electric across the control they want to have on the map, but in the same time, they have had a habit of having a core closed down. They bring anchors back when they need to. They know what they want their crossfires to be, as you assume all of the teams do at this level and do demonstrate. We haven't really seen how structured and how put together their attack is. Rogue, they've had these brilliant Rogue moments where they've pulled stuff together and pulled stuff back in the middle of a round when things haven't gone their way, but also things haven't gone their way, and, well, it really hasn't gone their way. Can they apply the pressure here to knock Virtus.pro off before the lead into the third map? Can they tie a huge amount of defense rounds together so they can kind of say, well, if we hit defense and we hit defense with a little bit more of a possibility and a little bit more of a chance, we can hit those 3-pointers. We can hit from range.
Attackers are moving out.
You're saying can they, or can it happen? Can Dor things it can. As people have been sleeping on VP, according to him. Wouldn't be surprised if they take the series. I mean, this moment, I wouldn't be surprised if they take it either, as they have been playing really well, but they really do have to get their attacks, chained up right here for this next upcoming map, or next upcoming 5 rounds rather.
Do we know?
As those will.
So,
do we?
I was about to say, do we know what Des predicted on this game? We do actually. He predicted the same.
Rogue.
Yeah. Do we know what Caliber Jacob predicted?
He predicted VP to end last, I believe.
Okay. So
that means they're ending up first in the
that means
tournament,
because
right?
both of them went against VP. It means VP are twice as likely to win things. I was curious if it was like the whole cat and buttered bread argument.
The cat and bread?
Yeah, you know how a cat always lands on its feet.
And bread always on the better side.
Yeah. What happens if you attach buttered bread to a cat?
Oh.
That's it.
That
What
is,
happens if you put a
yeah.
Dez prediction against the Caliber Jacob prediction? Who's going to be more
Well,
wrong?
I mean, if they both predict the same thing.
Well, that's what we need to get them to predict different things to test this theory. We might have found the answer
Yeah.
to like an unending siege game. Hey,
to all the physics and
it's all the
gravity
physics.
questions.
Yeah, this is a big physics question. Let's get Gio and Milos in here. Now there is pressure. Not physics. This is more of a religious one as it comes down towards church. As they're looking to try and get that long angle opened. The slight pullback from Aces there. He wanted to swing onto the blue stairs, but he's not going to risk his life for it, which is fair enough because, well, you don't have to yet. Big play space, big angles. Look at both Leon and Kajeka trying to hold on to the kitchen hatch.
Bomb located by attackers.
As long as they hold onto that kitchen hatch, that will be beneficial for them. I'm going to have to worry about anybody dropping through there. As they're seeming more worried about the fact that a blue push might be coming in soon. And look at the angle Rask is trying to gain into the player inside of church. If he manages to find that kill onto Corey, that will be huge. That is going to be the smoke gone if that happens. And instead, WTG will be taken out. Shockwave with an instant respawn yet again. Ace is not able to live long after his first initial kill. Recurring theme, it seems like, as the grenade will be caught by the ADS. Pasha will be down by the spray of the T5 SMG. Hellion gets going aggressive right now, going through the rotation, dealing a lot of damage with the rest, but not enough to actually get that kill down.
Diffuser upstairs as well, and they don't have the kitchen hatch
yes.
open, so they have to go around and grab it and get themselves back down with only 15 seconds left on the board. They have barely any time to find themselves in. All they have to do now, because they rotated background, is burn utility and just try and push through the openings that they have. But there is Leon round the back of Pipes and round the back of VP to get another round for Rogue.
Gotta say, it's very smart of Leon to move up these stairs here in this stage of the round, really, because all control they had and all time they had available to them would basically hint at them dropping through Moto. And if they did, you have the opportunity to either move above the hatch yourself or to go down these stairs again and to try and get these kills in. Exactly what he did, managed to get 2 down as he dropped the diffuser straight away. And that means we are all equal now. 4-on-4. We've got ourselves a match in our hands. It's not going to be another 7-2 in the likes of VP, as they really need to battle right now to get these last remaining 3 or even maybe possibly 2 rounds in. Of course, not sure what the OT picks were, but I would assume that Rogue would be starting out on the defense. So VP are looking to close this out in the next 6 rounds. 4 rounds.
You okay though?
Yeah, sometimes math is hard, you know, even for Statman.
You know, it's weird that Statman's making mistakes.
But that's why I instantly correct myself
You are.
within a second.
It's like your power kicks in.
Yeah,
It's not.
quick power.
I mean, yeah, with great stat power comes Siege GG responsibilities.
Okay, I was gonna say, I know what's coming, but not the exact amount.
Holding on to a wide hold here on the top floor. When we saw the gym and bedroom lockdown from the defense of Virtus.pro, they were a little bit more claustrophobic about it. They seemed to build everything up, obviously, around the gym bedroom set itself. They had some aggression swing between logistics and construction, but they didn't put too many bodies in terms of an extension towards CC. Here we're seeing a huge dedication of utility. A lot of hard has gone down, and, well, it's whether the bodies are there to back it up or whether they're going to try and capitalize and close down against the push of VP. The big roam, obviously, was a constant cause for concern for the players of Rogue when they were on their attacks. And, well, I guess it's seeing if they try and duplicate it on their defense. Aces, for now, is playing just on the top of the red stairs, waiting for any intense pressure and making sure that they can burn as many ADS as possible. The 2 were my discs on the roof. They know what hatch they want to keep a hold of. They know where they want to trap utility, and they know that they're going to dig in over here.
2 minutes, a lot of utility being used here. Rogue holding steady and very determined of holding onto this cache in the red stairs. There's a lot of utility will be used. Pasha moves in right now, is behind the shield, has that cover in his favor, and will be able to pick up the kills while Aces goes down, and that right now basically turns an issue towards Corey, who finds himself stuck. But as I say, that him and Liam Gibbs will be able to pick up some kills. He gets another one to come down as Rask will be taking a little bit of damage from the vertical hole. Find ourselves in a 4-3 situation after a very explosive start of the round, and that means that we will slow down just a little bit right now until they manage to get control of cash completely.
The timing there to see the man drift around was almost as pitch perfect as the timing there as Pasha swings wide and gets the head of Rips. 2 versus 3. Now, unfortunately, the body balance has shifted away from Rogue's favor. Kajeka dug in on Bathroom with a gun that can do bits. Leon on the smoke, not too far away, but the drones are slow and steady. They have a minute to play with, and they have a huge amount of ground capitalized upon. And now, well, they have an idea of where Leon is. They know he hasn't left. Emission is steadily droning him, is going to pull away and see if they can find Kajeka. I don't believe they have many drones left. So they want to make sure that they do all the bits they need to. But with Leon going to rotate around the side, he's going to take the firefight on 1, and that is a big kill because that really just puts Virtus.pro on a singular side, singular angle. 40 seconds left. They still have the diffuser in hand. They're having to do a big rotate to get a bit more control. And there is the pressure there. They're looking for another, and they find it. Leon strikes twice like lightning. He tears Pasha apart, and it is all down to Rask. 20 seconds left after a huge round on his defense. He's got to try and make magic happen here on his attack as he loops and looks for anybody that he can put bullets in. Leon's lying low and in wait on one side, but with Kajeka doubled up in the showers, it's going to turn from a 1 versus 1 to a 1 versus nothing. Rogue, second time today, they're a round ahead.
Find themselves in the lead right here, but it was a round that could have easily landed into VP's lap if it wasn't for Leon gets to move up right there. At that very moment, dropping down the diffuser, completely completely dismantling the attack or the setup that they were trying to go for on the likes of VP. We find ourselves 5-4 right now. Rogue in the lead. As you said, second time today. Is VP going to be able to strike back, or they're not going to be able to find an attacking round at all today on Clubhouse?
I guess this is some of the questions answered. When I was talking before about we didn't get a full stretch of how Virtus.pro's attacks were going to work because they were so good on their defense, we, well, didn't really need to see a full test, and we didn't get the opportunity. Here, Rogue have the confidence and cartel that is offered by Clubhouse, and they're able to capitalize upon it too. They're able to keep themselves locked in onto their defensive half and play the game that they want to. Leon now on a 10-7 from how, unfortunately, we didn't see him lock in before. Kajeka with his first kill of the game. A little bit late to the party, but hey, it pulls you around ahead. You're playing on that big anchory role, and you expect the big guns of your fraggers to be able to get into these confrontations first. This is a Rogue defense that we expect from them. It's well played, well coordinated. This is a VP attack where they seem to lack that aggression, that ferocity that they had on their defenses. And yeah, it's a different method of play. You're asking the attackers questions on your defenses. Here, you're trying to answer theirs. And they seem just a little bit stumped, unfortunately, like you with maths.
Just sometimes.
Sorry, because you've made one mistake and I make every maths mistake. I've got to pinpoint it now.
They're lacking the determination they had during the cafe match, VP, that is.
Yeah.
They looked really strong, really confident during those 3 attacks they had, of course. It wasn't that many. But we haven't seen any of that yet onto this Clubhouse. And it's about time you show it now, because otherwise you might be heading towards OT. It's not a place you would like to be, especially not with Rogue going up to the defense site most likely first. At least if they're smart about it, they would choose the defense side first. There's VP taking the construction control here that they need. And soon they will be opening up as well with probably the Hibana as the Excaris are plenty to do so.
Well, the roaming Jaeger is taken care of first. Leon, after a slight reign of terror, is put to sleep for just a moment as Virtus have a bit more of an idea of how they want to push this. And they're not going to take the big utility burn they tried last time. Remember how it was just a lot of pressure onto Rips on that second story? Here they're going to try the plan B, opt for this construction push, opt to try and maybe take the slightly weaker side of the defense and, well, up to try and take out Corey, which does obviously not go in your favor. There's a jump out, and there's a huge risk from Aces. Who cares if it's an active firefight at the window? Throw yourself out. The bullets are all the intel you need. You know where they're at.
Bullets create their sound indeed, and it's all you need as Rips will be able to pick up yet another member. Shockwave will fall. That leaves us in a 2-on-4 situation. Smoke canisters will be deployed. The diffuser is down outside of the window, and that means that Mission needs to go and retrieve that one. First putting in his drone, getting as much information as he possibly can, as he now knows the position of 2 of these members. Flashbangs will be tossed in, but eaten by the Wamai magnets to some extent. C4 gets popped in, is not going to be able to deal any damage. Corey will take down WTG, and that means it's all up to a Mission now. A one-man army. Is he going to be able to get it? That's the question, though. He starts it off strong as he gets the first kill to Corey. It's 18 seconds left. Is going to be able to spot the second one? Nobody knows he's behind the shield right now. A quick pre-fire is all he needs. He's not going to be landing it. Rips will be able to pick it up, and that means Rogue is going to be on map point and is looking to push us towards a map number 3. And VP, they're struggling on this attack, aren't they?
I think what we've seen now is the weakness in what VP's playday has been so far. Their defense, unbelievable. Well put together, especially on Cafe. Here, it was slightly more contested by Rogue. They're able to, again, come down to these split-second decisions that worked or didn't work against them. At this moment in time where you have Rogue playing on their confidence, look how strong they have become on this second half. You see Aces doing those jump outs. You see Leon taking control of huge swathes of the map, pulling back, pushing again, manipulating a play space that to them seems just second nature. How do you respond to that as Virtus.pro? You have these great standout moments, sure, but they haven't been able to find a way to get that translation. They can't find the correlation between aggression onto their attacks that matched, then mirrored their fantastic defense. And, well, maybe it's just a slower pace on a map like this, and maybe if we do find ourselves on Oregon, if they can't lock it out over the next 2 rounds, well, it will be slightly tighter corners, slightly tighter play spaces, and slightly tighter maps that might work back into their favor. I'm not sure who goes first on attack or defense, so we'll just leave it up to the air, unless you know.
We leave that up to the air because I do not know.
Okay.
Either. But something that I think I know are Rogue on the attack on the actual overtime. So that means they need to close it out now.
I mean, that's the thing, because you look at this as a 2-part thing. Because if you're heading over to Oregon, if they close it out now, Virtus.pro, they're staying on their kind of defense. They're starting on their defense, which has been very good for them. But at the same time, Rogue, if they take it, then that's 5 rounds in a row. That's so much confidence for players that can be built and structured around confident play. When they are on a tear, they are ethereal. They are so hard to stop doing what they want to do and going where they want to go. They didn't seem to have that in the early rounds. They didn't seem to have that in the early doors of Cafe. They have that now. If they can bottle this and keep it for their attack rounds next map, they might be able to find a lot more success as predicted.
Now, something I would like to highlight is that whoever has the best round differential, I believe that is still the case, will be getting the choice of site for the third and the cider map. Now, given the fact that VP already won 7-2 in the first one, they are unable to lose that advantage, Fluke, and that means that might be the little advantage they need to secure themselves that third map if this one goes into the hands of Rogue.
Yeah, there's a lot of talk about how you would expect it, and I guess expectations have belied and belittled us all throughout this today. You wouldn't have seen it as a 1 map up for Virtus.pro, but, well, it was. And it wasn't just a great map for them, it was astonishing how well they're able to take control of Dostoyevsky. I guess it's Russian territory, and they made sure to mark it as such. Aces is the first to take a huge amount of damage, but he's still standing, and that's always still a problem for any team that you're up against. They refuse to die quite often, the guns of Rogue, and, well, even with the slivers of health they have, they can still try and make sure that you do. Pipes very quickly being attempted to crack open, but the first fails. The impact trick over the top stops the destruction that they tried to rain down on the backside of the church site. With Aces still dug in inside utility and trying to hold off the big guns on the end of Oil Pit, Virtus.pro have 45 seconds to start to at least find a body.
40 seconds and 5 drones available to them as the second exothermic charge will be placed down, but I believe it got impact tricked as well, and if that's the case, it will be very unfortunate for them. Aces starts things off, Leon gets and follows up as well, but it's Pasha to come in for one return at least. It's going to be 30 seconds left, and while VP, they really need to hurry now. They cannot afford to lose this round if they want to push this up to overtime. There definitely seems to be storming into that way as Rogue have that 1 minute advantage, and there's literally no control for VP over the actual site. They have no way in, and they really need to find one soon. It's going to be Shockwave to move through, able to pick up that kill, turns it back into equal numbers as he picks up yet another one. It's going to be Pasha to move through. Is he going to be able to find the last one as well as he swaps to the bearing 9? No, he gets taken down. It's all up to Rips right now. The time runs out. Rogue will win it. There was not enough time for the player to rotate around, and that means that good halves are coming out. Rogue will be pushing us to map number 3. At the moment, it seemed like the attack of Virtus.pro was starting to gain some ground.
I did a full gasp there. That was a.
I heard it.
That was a full gasp. That was. Imagine it coming down to the wire when someone's just lying on the floor and waiting for. Oh god. Oh no. Oh no. Here they come. Uh-oh. You are so lucky you have an Alder in hand, because the amount of bullets you could have put down in that situation, Rogue. 6 or 7.